Welcome to Cool Box Live, the show that saves you money on the world's greatest magic. Every week, the Cool Box features the best tricks on penguinmagic.com and slashes their price. Everything in tonight's show is 25% off or more. New magic every week at crazy low prices. So get ready. You're about to discover your next favorite trick tonight on Cool Box Live. Here are your hosts, Nick Lacapo and Erik Tate.
Hello, everybody out there on Facebook and YouTube. I am Erik Tate alongside my host, my good buddy, Nick Lacapo. Nick, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. We got a little Sunday off here. I'm doing it on a Monday night. Now I'm all confused because now it feels like Sunday internally, right? And it's going to screw my whole week up, but it's worth it because we're going to save everybody some money tonight.
Yeah, we were off for the Super Bowl last night, which is as the YouTube chat is pointing out, is hilarious because everyone who watches this is magicians. So
yeah, it is true. You know, like just a funny side story. Back when we used to film the lectures, we used to film them on Sundays, and I would always, when I was first working all the lectures, when the magicians would come in, you know, I was missing football. I'm a big football fan, so I was always missing football when I'd have to film the lectures because they'd happen at 7 o'clock, but I'd have to get there at 3. So catch a little bit of 1 o'clock games. Anyway, I'd always ask the lecturers, like, hey, is there a game I could put on for you? And, you know, like, you're from Michigan. Should I put the Lions on? And look, it was, I would say, because I was running numbers for a while, it's got to be like 5% of the lecturers that ever gave a shit. The only one I can remember is Rick Merrill. Rick Merrill was so happy that I could get him the Lions gang. So shout out to Rick if you're out there.
Well, of course, Rick. I mean, you know, Rick's a normal human being. He's a well-adjusted adult, not.
I mean, there was a couple other. Coruscaro's a big. Is he a Jets fan or a Giants fan? He'll crucify me if I get that wrong. One or the other. And then Kevin Bethea, I know he's out there. He's a Philly guy, so we're around, but we're pretty thin.
We know Farrell Dillon was here not too long ago. Farrell's a big Seahawks fan, but they weren't playing when he was lecturing. I almost feel like we scheduled his lecture around a Seahawks game. But
Seahawks weren't in the playoffs. So Farrell must have scheduled it around the postseason, no doubt.
Well, we got a whole bunch of people here in the chat. We got Dennis Gingras saying salute. Rick Harnett was here for the second time. No one was here last night. We also got Hungry is also here. He saw he got pushed back for the Super Bowl. John Green joining us on YouTube. Clay Smith joining us on Facebook saying hi, guys. Jim Hathaway saying hello. Alan Morgan saying a most superb owl. Not quite sure what's going on there, but you know what? I'll take it.
Is there an owl somewhere?
Is there an owl?
I don't know. I don't have one, I don't think.
Matthew Magician over here on YouTube saying hello. Yeah, it's good. Well, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about tonight.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, this show's awesome because if you're watching it, that means you get to save money on some really great magic tricks. Every week we put together a list of great stuff that we really love, and you save 25% off any of it for the entire week. So we got some really good magic this week.
We do have some really good magic this week. By the way, be sure to like this video and also share it because the more people we have watching, the more awesome things we can do. And I want to do a special shout out right now to someone in the chat. It is on YouTube. It is Craig Petty's Magic TV. Craig Petty just gave you an award, didn't you, Nick? Didn't you just win Magic Presenter of the Year from Craig Petty's Magic TV?
I certainly did, which was a total shock and surprise. It was really, it was nice that it's just, we work really hard and it's great to get any sort of good news like that, right? So big thanks to Craig and Ryland for recognizing just the hard work that we put in, because it wasn't just me that won something. Penguin also won Dealer of the Year, which I thought was really cool. He had some great things to say about what we're trying to do on social media as well, which is a lot in part to do with Josh Birch as well.
Yeah, we really appreciate the awards. You know, congratulations to Nick and congratulations to the whole team for getting these awards from Craig Petty's Magic TV. It was a
great follow. By the way, you should definitely follow Craig Petty Magic TV on YouTube. He puts out, Erik, it's 15 videos a week.
What? we don't produce 15 videos a week, and we're a production
He's
company.
out of his mind. I have no idea. I mean, it does go to show you how much content there is to produce for Magic, because but anyway, Craig's doing a great job over there, not afraid to speak his mind and tell you what's what. So he's a great follow. Go check him out.
Absolutely. Well, there's a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. Should we get to the first thing, Nick?
Yeah, super excited for the first thing.
First thing in the deals of the week this week, we are going to be talking about Pocket Nightmare by Max Maven. This is an exciting trick. We've talked about it before, but I think what we should do is take a look at a live performance right now. Oops. Nope.
Well,
there we go.
I'm going to do something that hopefully you'll find amazing. Hopefully. But if you are amazed, I want you to be amazed for the right reasons. And that goes for the rest of you. Because when I'm done, what I don't want is for you to say, wow, that was really strong sleight of hand. That would be giving me credit for the wrong thing. So to prove that this is not sleight of hand, to rule it out, I will work with one hand only. So let me put my right hand away. And you will take your left thumb, Daniel. I'll turn my head away. You will peek at a card. You won't actually take it out. You just bend back at a corner and peek at a card. Did you get one?
yes.
All right, you know what the card is?
Yes.
Look at me. It's a red card.
Yes.
It's a heart.
Yes.
It's a picture card.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, really.
Okay. All right, we'll finish it differently. Take the deck. Take your card out of the deck and put it on the palm of my hand face up. And we'll take this in a slightly different direction. Daniel?
No, it's not here.
What was your card?
The 5 of Hearts.
You know, I promised to do this with one hand. I never said which. Thank you very much.
That is an amazing trick. It doesn't matter how many times I see it. That trick is just phenomenal, Nick. What do you think?
When he did his lecture here, because this is when we got that performance footage, it was during Max Maven's live act, I believe. And it was an encore piece because it wasn't part of his act, right?
Yeah.
And I remember him coming back out later just to do one thing. And I think I was running music or lights or something.
Yeah.
So I was like paying attention, but not paying attention. And I remember when that card came out of his pocket, I just like, what? Hold up. What did I just miss? I must have missed something, right? Because there's no way that happened. And of course it did. Because that's how brilliant this trick is, which also won P3 Product of the Year in 2020. So it is one of the best tricks from last year.
It is amazing. Actually, I happen to know, I was watching the Magic Awards from Craig Petty's show, and I believe Ryland opens his show with this, which is just like, I mean, like, what a way to uppercut an audience with, with this particular trick, the first thing they see. But earlier this week, you and I actually got a chance to look inside the box and make a video sharing with everyone what it was like. So why don't we go inside the box?
Hey, Nick Lacavo here with my buddy Erik Tate, and I'm here to talk about Pocket Nightmare by Max Maven. Now, you've seen the full performance on the website, which is incredible, and we're here to show you exactly what you're going to receive when you purchase Pocket Nightmare by Max Maven. I already said that twice, but that's okay. So you're going to get a really cool box, right, with the P3 logo on the back, and Are those Max's
I
eyes?
think those might be Max's eyes. It's you can tell because of the quizzical eyebrow that comes up. I think.
Anyway, you are going to get a special deck on the inside of the box, and it will come sealed. This deck of cards. I already opened this just so you didn't have to see me struggle with the
We were just
seals.
too excited to open it up and get to grips with it.
Yeah, but you are going to get a special deck with this. The routine does use a particular deck of cards, and I'll open this up so you guys can see what's going on. There's a couple special cards here that I'm going to lay to the side because I'm not going to show you the exact secret behind the trick.
Yeah.
But I did want to show you that this is printed on bicycle stock, right? These are, is this the crush stock? Actually, I believe it is.
I think it is the crush stock now that I think about it.
Yeah, here, give it the squeeze test because you'll know.
Oh yeah. These are the crush stock. These
Okay.
are really nice. What's really nice about this is while Max has actually released this before and talked about it on a download, this is the first time that the deck has ever been custom printed because you used to have to do a lot of arts and crafts to actually make this particular trick, and now all the work is done for you.
Yeah, because this deck does two things. Well, one, I mean, you watch the performance, so this deck will force a particular card, and it will also make that card vanish from the deck. But the way the deck is designed, it also allows you to hand the deck to the spectator, and once the 5 of hearts in this case has vanished from the deck, the spectator can spread through, and there's just no way to actually find the 5 of hearts in the pack. Okay, the spectator can really handle the cards. You're going to learn a lot from Max on the instructional video on how this is possible because the deck is 2 layers really, where the deck is doing the work for you, but also the way that you're presenting the effect helps disguise everything that's going on here.
It's a really interesting routine and very thorough instructional materials. Max goes through the full history of the effect, when he first performed it at FISM, to variations on it that have been published over the years, to his publication of it, and then Penguin getting involved and coming together to print the special deck.
Yeah.
You can really learn a lot from this. And I know Nick and I have mentioned this a bunch of other places, but this is really a fantastic extra trick to have just in case you need an additional 5 minutes. It's almost like a replacement for the invisible deck in some senses because it's just a fully scripted out routine that is super powerful, hits the audience really hard, and gets those reactions that you want.
Yeah, because it's just one deck of cards, right? So you leave this in your case. You got 3 to 5 minutes in your show. I mean, of course, you can do a close-up as well. Because it's going to be the same card every time, it might not be something that you want to do like table to table. But man, for 3 to 5 minutes on stage in Parlor, killer, right? I should also mention that the I say this whenever we talk about Pocket Nightmare, but yes, there is one particular card here, but get it now, because when this sells out and we reprint Pocket Nightmare, we will print a new Force card, okay? So if you get this one,
Yeah.
and then you get the next one, then you'll have 2 different ones.
Yeah.
So get it while you still can get this particular one, because you will not regret having this pack laying around for your next show.
Should also point out that it comes with everything you need to perform the routine. You're not going to have to steal cards from other decks or do any sort of extra arts and crafts construction. Literally everything that comes inside this box is all you will need to perform Max Maven's Pocket Nightmare. Pocket Nightmare is a great trick. I really like it a lot. Right now, if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive at checkout, you're going to get it for 25% off. Normally, it's $40. This week, you can get it for $30. That deal is good until this coming Friday at midnight.
It's huge.
It's big.
$10 off Pocket Nightmare. Come on.
Yeah, that's an amazing trick. And
One of the best tricks of last year for sure.
I know we mentioned this in the video, but we are getting low on them. And when we finally sell out, we're going to get a new Force card.
It is low. Sometimes I don't have a way to check, but I don't believe that it's very many left. So yes, please, I want the new Voice card, and then you can join the club with me as well. I mean, I get by with my one, but I just want to like that sound mind to have the second one in there. But yeah, 25% off. This is why you watch the show, right? So if you don't have Pocket Nightmare, grab it now because that's a great deal.
I like that we're starting to do some of these inside the box Penguin Peak videos where we can really like take stuff out and show it to you. And obviously we're not going to give away any secrets that we shouldn't be on the stream, but like there's some things that we want to be able to take out of the box and look at, and really show stuff like Pocket Nightmare.
Were there any questions on that one? Were we looking or?
No, generally what's going on here in the chat is everyone is saying Maven is a master in audience management, and this effect is an absolute killer. Focus is one of Alan Morgan's favorite books over here on the YouTube chat, and the Magentleman is saying y'all would do this while he's trying to sleep. Sorry, you're gonna have to wait a couple more minutes to go to sleep. And an old buddy of mine, Logan Probst, are joining us on Facebook because I told him about this almost 20 years ago, and about Penguin Magic 20 years ago. Good to see you, Logan. Thanks for tuning in.
By the way, we never heard back from that dude that bought Play It Straight Triumph, right?
Actually, I did. I was streaming with him not long after that. We were playing a game of Among Us over on Twitch, and I found out that he had watched it, but he had not practiced it, and so I am due to be bugging him very soon. To see if he's learned it. Maybe he'll learn it well enough to do it on stream, but we'll find out.
Do something like that. Yeah.
Actually, I do have a good question here. I think the video addresses this, but Alan Morgan says, does the download have instructions to make your own, or will it be clear to someone who owns it? And the answer to that is no. The instructions don't teach you how to make it. Max has published this one time prior, and that is on, I think it's the KFAB DVDs. Louis D'Amato put out.
Yeah.
And I briefly goes into it, but the
the
cards are a nightmare.
Yeah. Unless you can print cards at home, or you love splitting cards.
Yeah. You need to be like a Seth Race, Nick Popa level card splitter build.
I mean, you're gonna have to split an entire deck, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just not gonna come out the right size.
Yeah.
Dan
Arsenal in the Facebook chat asking, is it easy to perform? The answer is yes. The deck does most of the work for you. There is some audience management you need to do, but Max covers everything in there.
Yeah, it's practically self-working.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no moves or anything like that, right? It's just choreography is all.
Yeah. And then I think there's a valid question here from Matt over on YouTube. Is it Get Shark?
No, he's thinking of Get Sharky.
Yes.
No. No.
Yeah, it's not Get Sharky. That is different.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Get Sharky is well, we know what Get Sharky is, but it's a similar effect, as in the card can go in the deck and vanish, and you pull it, you get it, and you have access to it and bring it out wherever you want. But
if I'm not mistaken, Get Sharky is inspired by this trick, but it is not the same trick.
Yeah, actually, I believe this trick predates Get Sharky.
Yeah, because Max first performed this at FISM something like 25 years ago, and that's where everyone saw it for the first time. So it really, really fooled everyone. But that's it. The P3 product of 2020, Pocket Nightmare by Max Maven.
PenguinMagic.com, put in your cart and punch in promo code CoolBoxLive, save $10.
Yep. Then that's it. Let's move on to the next thing. The next thing we are talking about today is Sudden Deck 3.0. This is, man, I'm glad that we were able to take this out of the box and show it to people.
One of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best deck production tricks that you can possibly do and that anybody can do. We're going to break it down in this video so you can see exactly what you get in everything inside the box.
Let's take a look right now. Hey guys, Erik Tate here alongside my buddy Nick Lacapo, and today we are here to talk to you about David Regal's Sudden Deck. This is such a cool prop that I know a lot of stand-up workers and close-up workers who've used this to introduce a deck of cards. If you're not familiar with it, Nick, I think you've even got one here.
Well, I have a blank card box. This is what the box looks like before it's actually been printed.
Oh, so like when it comes from the factory.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
right. If you want to print it, you just give it a shake and it prints. Right?
It gets me every time.
I know, but of course it's just an empty card box, right? So, but you can actually make cards with this too, right? You just have to snap and think. Oh, there it goes. Did you see it happen?
No.
Yeah, look, I'll come down here, and you can get an entire deck of cards from a blank box.
That is such a good opener. It's a really great opener.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a restaurant worker, you do a lot of walk around. You can walk up to a table, do that as an introduction, introduce the deck, and then start doing tricks as necessary. I know I've used it to open stand-up shows. There's a lot of very, very popular magicians who use this to introduce a deck of cards on stage.
There's that thought that, like, if you're going to be a magician, you're going to do cards with it, you might as well figure out a great way to make them appear.
Yes.
Right. This is the easiest, best way. I mean, honestly, we were talking before we even filmed this. This has got to be the best way to make a deck of cards appear.
Yeah, it's
hands down.
It's
a lot of ways, but
everybody's go-to, because when you get down to it, it works really well. The gimmick is very well designed by David Regal. It's a very clever introduction, and you have an interesting prop to show an audience, because when you show people a deck of cards or a box of cards that is not printed on, it's empty. They don't know where you're going. But they want you to make that deck appear. And
it's one of the most visual things that you can do when it comes to Magic.
Let's talk about what you get, though. Yeah, let's talk about what you get. So you get this really nice packaging right here. It comes all flat pack, and you open it up, and inside are the gimmicks. We'll say there's a little bit of construction involved in this, but it's literally you stick one thing to another, and you're done.
And it's even got the adhesive on it already. It's just the reason why you're doing it is so that it could fit in a flat package, so you didn't have to pay more for shipping. That's basically why. That's the only reason. But yes, that's exactly what you're going to get in the box.
It also comes with an instructional video by David Regal. I think actually the construction portion, the very minor construction portion, is taught by you.
Oh, is that true?
I believe it is. And then David Regal teaches you exactly how to use this particular prop. He goes into all kinds of different presentational ideas and exactly how to make it work correctly for you 100% of the time. It's really good. And David covers just all of the angles. He's such a good teacher. You're going to learn so much.
And it goes beyond this, right? Because first of all, you're creating a deck out of thin air, right? Why not have this deck be stacked ready for a particular trick, right?
Stacked or a gimmick deck.
Yeah.
You could produce a gimmick deck. Let's say you do something like the Invisible deck, or maybe even Max Maven's Pocket Nightmare. This is a great way to introduce it.
That was where I was going to go next. The Invisible deck, if you don't do it, or you've been wanting to do it, it combos beautifully with Sudden Deck, right? Because you have like an invisible box, kind of, right? So you can kind of see how the two could combine to create a better effect as well.
I've even seen people use this as a deck switch in play, where they'll be doing tricks with a deck of cards, and then they'll bring out the box and show you exactly where cards come from. Next thing you know, a new deck is put into play, and no one remembers that it came out of a box that was produced after you put away another deck of cards.
It's so good.
It's really, really excellent.
Yeah, and I guess maybe one more thing is just, we talk about open mic magic all the time. People are always looking for things that you can do to help get you into standing up on stage and doing magic. This is one of the easiest, best things that you can possibly do. You can do it with a stand-up mic, and you can just throw it out there. It's so good.
Sudden Deck is a great way to introduce a deck of cards. It's an excellent magical moment in anyone's show, no matter what you're doing. It's a wonderful effect. It is easy to do, and you're going to love it. You should check it out.
Man, I love Sudden Deck. It is so good. It's really awesome.
I worked on deck production stuff for so long, and there's a lot of great methods, mostly difficult, like sleight of hand methods, which are all great as well. But this one, it's just, I love recommending this to people because any skill level can get up in front of a group of people. And now you have a great way to start any card set, just by making the deck of cards appear.
Yeah, and right now you can get it for a couple of bucks off. It's normally $30, but if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive at checkout, you're going to get it for just over $22. It's pretty good. Got some really great comments in the chat here. Craig Petty saying Sudden Deck 3 is how he opened his competition act. He's heading over to get a spare now. This is incredible. I think he's talking about the deal. I don't think Craig was expecting to get a deal at Sudden Deck this week. A lot of people saying Sudden Deck is fantastic. Really, really good question from over here is... Hungry is saying, this is a great option for a deck production. The only one I ever used was the one Piffs taught in his Penguin Live. Is this one pre-made and super visual? And the answer to that is yes, it is pre-made. One of the things we talk about in the video, and we want to reiterate here, is that there is very little assembly with this. There's one small thing that you attach to it, and it even comes
and I can actually show you guys what that is, because we're on this show. Because I have the gimmick here, and it's basically this piece right here. And I don't know if where is it exactly? Is it connected? It's connected here. So I'll put this in front of the camera there.
Yeah, see if it can focus up on there. And it's super good.
It's just the. Sorry, I'm away from the mic. It's just this little piece, and it has adhesive on it already. So you just stick it on there. And again, the reason was so it could fit inside the box, really, without folding any of these pieces of paper.
John Hayes, I see your question there. We'll get to that a little bit later. If you have any questions for Nick and I, not even about the tricks that we're talking about, but other Penguin stuff or Magic questions, we'd love to take your questions. And there's a little bit of a break between Nick's top 3 and my top 3, and we can talk about those there. But really good question from Mark DeTulio. What is the difference between Sudden Deck 3.0, 2, and 1?
I don't know.
We're racking our brains a little bit. We know that there is a difference.
It's been too long.
I believe number 1 did not print. I believe number 1 was you just showed an empty box and then you folded it up and the cards came out. I'm pretty sure that was Sudden Deck 1. Sudden Deck 2, I believe, was the first one that printed, and then there are refinements on Sudden Deck 3 just in the construction of the box, the way everything did. It is a lot better.
I mean, if you already have a Sudden Deck that works, you don't need to get this one, really. Yeah. I mean, if you like the way it looks, I mean, it's essentially this, you know? So
Matthew the Magician on YouTube asking, what is Sudden Deck skill level? This is a beginner skill level. All anyone can do this. The gimmick does all of the work for you. You literally just need to be able to hold a piece of paper in your hand. That's
why I love it, because it's good enough for like Craig Petty was saying, competition act. I know John Armstrong uses this in his like cruise ship show.
Yeah,
but also, this is something I would recommend to like a 10-year-old kid doing like a talent contest or something.
Yeah. It's a phenomenal effect that is easy to do. It is durable. I own a couple of them just because I'm always like, when I have something in my show, I always want backups, but I've never had to replace it. It actually works better when it wears in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is made out of cardstock. It's a box, so if you sit on it or whatever, you can kind of form it back together. But it is a card box. But yes, kind of the older it gets, and the more you break in those seams, the better the change is,
There's a lot of people in the chat who are demanding that we have Regal on the show and get Regal to hang out with us.
We can get Regal on the show.
I think we could probably do that.
Especially if we told them that the whole chat was like, we've had the biggest names in Magic, but they demand David Regal.
Yeah. I think so. I think that's the way we lure Regal into our little.
Yeah, let's keep an eye out on our list. We'll find a David Regal trick and we'll get him to come on and talk about it.
Yeah, Gavin Wong over here in the YouTube chat saying, "Man, Sudden Deck 3.0 looks great. Really tempted to buy." What if I told you could get it for 25% off right now, Gavin? Would that change your mind?
It's the best time to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure. You have till Friday to figure it out.
Yeah.
All the deals on this show are good till Friday night.
Yep. Just enter the promo code CoolBox Live at checkout. All right, Nick. I think we need to move on to the first of our top picks this week. So let's go ahead and talk about my top picks. I'm excited to talk to you guys about these because the first thing that I'm going to be talking about with you guys is the Stealth Pen. I really, really dig this thing. So basically, what this is pen through dollar. This is just a really nice little pen through dollar. It's a small, sort of like unassuming one. I kind of prefer this kind. I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of really great pen through dollars, and what you can do is you can choose the one you like that fits best with the type of pen that you have. I tend to like using the sort of like slimmer, like Bic style pens rather than some of like the bigger ones that I've seen out there. Just because I also do a lot of like pen magic in my walk around with like Gregory Wilson's Recapped. And this is one you could totally do it with. It's a simple prop, but it's really strong. You push the pen through the dollar, you can show it freely on all sides, and then you can tear it straight out, hand the dollar back. Everyone can check it out. There's really not a lot of rocket science to this, but it's a nice trick.
Pen through dollar.
Yeah.
Man, if you've never done it, it is a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Big time. I was doing this, back when I only had like an array of card tricks that I could show people.
Yeah.
Pen through dollar was the one trick that I would do to switch it up. And it always got a huge reaction. One thing to mention with Stealth Pen, and the reason why it's such a great deal, because you are going to get it for 25% off tonight. You get 2 pens with the Stealth Pen kit.
Yeah.
It comes with 2. So that's kind of always, I'd always be like, you end up, I think a lot of us know how the pen through dollar works. You get that little extra piece. I'd always lose mine, to come off in my pocket or whatever. The nice thing to know is you can buy just the little replacement tip on Penguin. I think they're just $5, so those are available. But also because you get 2 pens, kind of gives you a 1 strike if you're in my boat, and I would always lose that little piece.
Yeah, it's a great, it's a really solid piece. They're not very expensive to begin with, but right now, if you enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout, you get an additional 25% off. So you get 2 stealth pens for $20. So
Yeah.
it's already inexpensive. You get a couple of others for quite a bit less.
Yeah,
And
get one, give one to your friend.
Yeah.
If you have friends.
It's super good.
Tough times these days.
Let's move on to the next thing, because I think we all know Pen Through Dollar. It's nice to be able to give this on discount, because I think a lot of people, like, if you're looking for a cool virtual trick to do, like, this is a good one. It works really well over a webcam, and there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with it. But the next thing is what I want to talk about, because I'm really excited. My number 2 pick this week is UPS by Roddy McGee and D. Christopher, which I'm real excited about this, because I was not familiar with this until it came up in our list. So each week, Nick and I get a list of tricks that we can offer to you guys at deep discounts, and we try and pick the things that we like the best. And so we looked at this, and I was like, oh, I'm not familiar with this. And you said you should check it out. And I immediately put it in my list after I got it. This is a peek, a business card peek, and there is some arts and crafts involved, but it's very, very simple. But what you can do is you can have somebody write something down on a business card. You can very clearly push it inside of the stack of business cards, and you can pinch it down so it's like, so you're holding it like if it was a deck of cards, and you can hold it all around like this, and they can see that you're not holding any breaks. There's nothing weird in there. And then you are able to activate this device, and it will deliver the information to you. And I'm being a little facetious when I say deliver the information to you, but this is one of the most Roddy McGee solutions to a business card peek I've ever seen. It's so good.
It really is.
Yeah.
I don't have mine set up here, but I know you can see it on the video in between us, but it really is, they write, it goes in the center of a business card stack, and then squared up, and it's not on the bottom or anything. Mm-hmm. And you don't, as of this moment, you don't know what it is. And the card is completely square in the packet.
Yeah. And
Eric's right. It is like hand delivered to you in the most Roddy McGee fashion.
It's really good. It's well worth it.
Yeah. If you're into collecting peaks, this is unique. Very, very unique. And I think for the right person, it might be your go-to business card stack pick. I know, like, guys like Sean Dunn, is people that I know. I know a lot of people that just work out of stacks of business cards. Yeah. Right. They got 15 minutes with business cards in their pocket. I know those people are out there. I'm sure some of you are in the chat.
Well, Mark DiTullio is bringing up a really good point in that UPS is in the cool box today, so you get 25% off of the already discounted price. So right now it's $10 in the so normally it's 20. It's already $10 in the cool box live right now. This is only good until midnight, but if you buy UPS today and you enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout, you're going to get an additional 25% off, and only
$7.50.
Yeah, it's crazy cheap. It's so good, and like I said, there is some arts and crafts involved in this, but this is the kind of arts and crafts that's really easy to do. You probably already have the items at home if you've built gimmicks before. If you don't, the materials are really cheap. It's really easy to build, and Roddy is very meticulous about how he teaches you how to build this.
Yep, and you get a lot of advice from D. Christopher, and you also get to see Roddy.
It's like an
doing this out in the wild.
It's like an hour-long download. So and the actual construction portion is pretty quick. So it's not like it's an hour of, or it's not like it's 40 minutes of construction and then like 10 minutes of mentalism. It's the other way around. The bulk of this is all the different things you can do with it. Yeah.
Again, if peaks are up your alley and you're the type that like is always looking for the newest one, I mean, this is certainly different. It might not be your bag once you take a look at it, but you'll be better off knowing that such a method exists.
Just going to jump back in time here on the stream, which is Mark DiTullio on Facebook is asking us, why is there one from Rick Lax and one from O's Perlman? Are they different? This is in regards to Stealth Pen. They're not. They're the same thing. It's just that O's pitched it at one time, Rick pitched it at one time, and I believe you get a download on how to do it from O's
Actually, I think I know what he's talking about, Eric. If you search for Stealth Pen on Penguin, you get like 4 different products or something.
Gotcha.
Because Penguin Magic. So just pick the cheapest one, Mark, because it's I think it's 25 or whatever. Believe me, I actually sent an email out about this today, so it should get corrected this week because there only needs to be one product. But whatever the cheapest one is the one that we're talking about. So you're gonna save on that one. So
Cool. Let's move on then, and this is my number one pick this week. Is a really fun DVD about cards. It's also a download. This is Card Stunts by Gregory Wilson. This is a really interesting project. So this was filmed by Penguin Magic. This was actually filmed at the Magic Castle. The video between us is man, I'm gonna get really good at pointing at these videos one day. That's my 2021 resolution. It's a full performance of Gregory Wilson performing in the basement at the Magic Castle. It's so cool. I've performed in that room before that he's in, because that's not the close-up gallery. That's the basement. That's like the jam room. And he's got a big full crowd, and they're filming this in front of a live audience, and then he's going through some amazing material. And this is card material that is actually from his Castle Act, in addition to some other stuff as well. But it's all amazing card magic. The opener is something you used to do, Nick. It's you take the cards out of the box, you put the box in your pocket, and then you go back, and after having spread the cards, the box reappears out around the cards. You take the cards out of the box again, put the box away. The box reappears around the cards, and then you make the box completely vanish. It's so good. That's just the first one. Then Phoenix Aces, where a barehanded production of 4 aces is in there. Reset with a hook is really interesting. You've got aces and jacks changing places, no gimmicks or anything like that. Joke in the Box is a card under glass, but he's using the box, so it's card under card box. It's a really fleshed out routine. It's so good. And the coolest part of this is if you watch it, you see Greg in a tux and with hair. It's wild.
Oh, don't hit the hair, man. That's a touchy spot for Greg right there.
I'll be there soon, so it's all good.
Look, I mean, it was I've got this video a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite, and it was fun to go back and watch it this week, because really what you're buying here is like a Gregory Wilson act. Like,
yeah,
that's what you're getting.
This is basically the Penguin live acts before Penguin live acts were there, and it's really strong material. It's so good.
The value of this is through the roof. I believe this was, I can't quite remember, so I might not be saying this correctly, but I believe this is one of the not the entire thing, but portions of this were what he did at FISM a while ago. And man, I mean, Gregory Wilson's so good.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we say it all the time whenever we watch stuff, but it was interesting to go back in time a little bit here, where he was like, you know, Gregory has transformed into like not doing so much magic tricks anymore. He still does tricks, but they're not framed as magic. Here, he's kind of, you know, he's doing some classic plots here. And it's been a while since I've seen Gregory crushing that, because he's just so good at whatever he touches. And this is no different, right? I did that opening routine for quite a long time. And then I discovered Sudden Deck.
Yeah.
Funny enough. But there's something in here for you, whether it's a routine or whether it's a way of how to handle your audience, like some quick banter, or just like learning how to perform. This is the total package. I mean, Greg's a 5-tool player. He can do it all.
I mean, these are high impact tricks, and they're not terribly difficult either.
No.
I'd actually say the hardest thing on the entire download or DVD, whichever one you go with, the download is very good. The download is the same thing as the DVD. It's just in a more accessible digital format. I'd say the hardest thing is Phoenix Aces, and that Phoenix Aces is not for everybody, but it's a great trick. But a lot of the other stuff on here, I mean, we're not talking knuckle buster stuff. Like the reset with a hook is actually pretty easy.
And how long is the performance? Is it like a half hour?
Yeah, it's like a half hour performance. It's pretty long. This is already a great deal on this. It's normally $25, but if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive at checkout, you're going to get it for like 18 and change. And the performance itself is worth the price of admission. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say, because you will get something out of it. It's Gregory Wilson with a deck of cards for half hour, back when he I mean, it's at the, I can't even say it's at the peak of his powers. It feels like it is when you're watching him, but I just know he went on to just do even more crazier stuff. But he's got like a little extra, he's got a little extra snap to him, which I was like, man, this guy is just a monster.
Yeah, it's well worth looking at. But Nick, we're at just about the halfway point here, and had some questions in the chat, some magic related questions. John Hayes wants to know what's the average length of a routine for us, and what's the least amount of great tricks you can cram into that time, as in like minimalist tricks.
Like for, I mean, I guess for close up, he's probably like,
I'm thinking for close up. I'd say that most of the people who are in here are close up folks.
You know, it's hard because it's like one of those questions where it's kind of like to me, the environment and who I'm performing for are the two biggest variables. And then I will do trick selection in my brain as to what I'm going to show them. Because, you know, if it's loud, then there's certain things that I can and can't do. And if I can tell that, like, if somebody really wants to see a trick, I'll spend 5 minutes on one routine. Like I'll open with like a longer format trick, right?
Yeah.
But if I can tell, like, you know, I got like somebody from back in the day back home being like, oh yeah, my guy Nick knows a bunch, show him a trick, Nick. And I can tell this person's just like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't really want to, I'm gonna do something quick, you know, like as fast as I can. So reading the audience, I think, is really important.
Yeah, I agree. And most of the tricks that I do in my walk around are pretty quick. I mean, they only take like 20, 30 seconds. They're not even really routines. They're just like things that I do. I'll grab like maybe 90 seconds is like a pretty long routine when I'm like working walk around, because that's kind of what I prefer to do. And I'll hit them with 2 or 3 like 90-second routines, and then I'll do something a little bit longer. Like Flight 101 is one of my favorite things to do in walk around right now, and I'll sort of milk that over the course of like 3 or 4 minutes. Same with double cross. I'll do, you know, a 3 or 4 minute one. You know, when I'm doing a formal close-up show or a stand-up show, my routines might be as long as 10 or 15 minutes, and that 10 or 15 minutes is still only going to have one trick in it. Or maybe the trick is a sequence of effects. Like Mandela effect is about a 10-minute routine, and there's, you know, 4 or 5 different, you know, moments of magic. Same with my silk to egg. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things of magic in there, but it's all sort of one trick in that routine.
Right. Yeah. So maybe choosing something modular would be, you know, a good thing to do, as opposed to, you know, choosing something that's just, you got to get to A to Z.
Yeah.
If it takes 3 minutes to get there, it takes 3 minutes to get there. But, you know, something like Ambitious Card has as many phases as you want to give it. So, you know, that could be a good thing to consider, like trying to choose something.
And if you're into bar magic, modular is really the way to go, because, you know, if you're going to be like working at a bar or a restaurant, like you've got to be able to stop that trick and get out at any moment, depending on like if food comes or someone needs a drink or anything like that. But good question. I think we'll probably get going here and onto your picks. This is Nick's top 3. Nick, tell us about number 3 this week.
Yes, number 3. Number 3 is so good. If you're a fan to the 5-in-1 Transpo, or if you know it, I mean, this is one of those tricks that has a million names. 5-in-1 bill transposition, or UF Grant slow motion bill transposition. Anyway, it's the trick where you put the $5 bill and the $1 bill in somebody's hand, and then you take the 1 or the 5 out, and they change places. This is such a cool variation. Zach is I'm actually curious what Zach's up to these days, because he was a bartender out in Las Vegas. I'm sure he's probably still doing the same thing, but he also had a lot of cool projects going on. He was one of my favorite people to film with over the last, I don't know, decade, because he was just, I didn't know what to expect, and then he came up me with this. This is a flushed out version of 5-in-1 that he would do behind the bar all the time.
It's amazing.
And he discovered, because, okay, when you get this, if you know 5-in-1, the method here is basically the same. What you're getting on this download is a very I can't say not minor. This is an amazing nuance. It's amazing touch on the 5-in-1 Transpo that just kind of takes it to another level. Because it's just it's just kind of like, there's a mind melting moment in here. And if you're familiar with it and you're watching the video, it's probably happening when he turns the bill around, and it's almost got like a Nicholas Lawrence, like Evolve feel to it.
Yeah. You can actually see in the video between us, like the magical moment that we're talking about. And Man, I watched this earlier today because I was like, "What?" This is the only trick I wasn't familiar with on the list today, and transfer is really cool. Like, I like the 5-in-1 transpo. This is the way I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
I'd always done sort of the Jano Wazada routine from the Money project that came out years and years and years ago, and I've seen some other really nice handlings of the 5-in-1 transpo. But man, this is really a good one. It's super visual. The routine is really good. All of the touches that he's got on it, like you can tell this is someone who doesn't just do the 5-in-1 transpo, but like loves the 5-in-1 transpo.
If you don't know the 5-in-1 transpo, you will learn it on here. If you already know it, you're not when we say making the gimmick, it's basically you're making the same gimmick that you're already familiar with, which is stupid easy to make. It's hardly, I mean, it is gimmick making, but it barely is. And you're basically learning this one nice touch, and I should also mention his presentation is one of the better like presentations that I've seen throughout the years. I'm not guilty. I think you can just do this trick. Like you can bring out a 5-in-1, say, hey, here's a 5, here's a 1, put it in somebody's hand, pull it out and just do the trick. I mean, sometimes these things don't have to like mean anything, but Zach gives you a really modern, logical presentation to deal with like currency exchanges and things. Because he presents it behind the bar, and this is exactly how he does it to all the tourists that come to Las Vegas. I just loved this download, and I was nervous when it came out because it was like it's seemingly a minor addition to the 5-in-1 transpo, but it was a major in effect. So, but it got a lot of love and a lot of great feedback. So if you're not up to it and if you don't know 5-in-1, this is probably the best download to get this week.
So Nick, I'm actually going to throw a correction in here. Mark DeTulio on Facebook asked a question, and I went on to Penguin to verify this. We have the price listed on here as $24.95. That is incorrect. That is incorrect.
Oh, that is very incorrect. That is me just cruising this afternoon, making the little images.
It's so transfer is actually $9.95. So
yeah, $9.95.
It's $10, and if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive, you're going to get it for $7 and change. So the price below me, not what you mean. Take $10 off that. Take $15 off that because it's much less expensive. So you should definitely.
You're making up. If you don't know 5-in-1, it's worth $20.
Oh yeah, it really is. And actually, Jody Robbins over on Facebook was asking if we were going to do any downloads on this show. This is a download. It's a $10 download, and you're going to get a really phenomenal effect out of it.
Yeah, you got to use your own money, and it will work for just about. I mean, I guess it works with any currency, right?
He teaches it with a 20. And he also talks about the fact that you could theoretically do this with any bills as long as you could fold it. Some of the polymer bills don't fold as well, and so you could do the 5-in-1.
In their hands though, so you could probably get away with it.
You need to have it folded to be able to do the visual change.
Polymer bills can't fold into the for the change. You're correct.
Yeah, sometimes some polymer bills pop open. Depends on the country and the shape of the bill.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you can do it. We say 5-in-1, but of course it works with a 20, a 50, 100, whatever you want to do.
You can do it whatever you wanted. All right, you want to move on?
Yeah, moving on to number 2. My number 2 pick this week. Man, this is some good stuff on this week's show.
I love this trick.
My number 2 pick is Fine Print by Jay Sankey. And what this is you're going to get a stack of cards. Oh, I should have remembered. I think it's. Oh man, I forget the actual cards. I should have looked that up. That might be on the product page. I can't remember, Eric. But you're gonna get a stack of cards. Yeah, take a look. And what it is an ace of spades. And if you're, what we got here, ace of spades. I don't have a bicycle deck on me, but this will do the same thing. So I'm gonna get this in focus. There we go. The little fine print on the bottom of the ace of spades, right? What fine print is an ace of spades with a card reveal in that position. So in that little fine print area, it says you will pick the Queen of Hearts, or you will pick the 9 of Diamonds, or you will pick the 7 of Spades, whatever it is. And that'll lay in hot plain sight. So what are you getting with fine print? Well, you get all these gimmicks, and then you're going to get a variety of routines that are structured in a way so that the ace of spades is laid out on the table, and you use it as like a kicker ending reveal that their card is written on the ace of spades the entire time. I'll tell you what I've learned about this particular trick and magicians over the last decade, because the first time I ever saw this, when I didn't know anything about magic, it blew my mind. It crushed me. Like,
It's amazing.
yeah, it took me out of left field. And it was just like, I can't believe, like, you pick up the ace and you look at it and you stare at it. And I think over the years, because I was excited because we got to redo this trick.
Yeah.
And I love fine print. But what that does a lot of times when I work on these projects is I get to engage with the magic community and find out their opinion of it. And I think it's just kind of felt like it got played out or something like that, where magicians were like, oh, that old thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that old thing. This trick hammers layman hard. And it is stupid almost to not simply replace the ace of spades in your deck of cards with one of these.
So
right?
I'm actually on the product page right now because you'd asked, it does come with a few gimmicks. It doesn't come with 6 or 8, Nick. It comes with 14. It comes with 14 gimmicks in red and blue and 4 different reveals. And get this, the Nick Lacapo teaches you 5 full routines to do with it.
Yeah. So for example, this is one of my favorite things, and you should get the Terry Ward live act for this, because Terry was the one that really was one of my.
He crushes with this.
He does Red Hot Mama with this, and if you know this, just stick with me. You know that the spectator selects a card, and then you spread the deck, and that card turns into a different color, right? Like they select the 5 of spades, and all of a sudden the 5 of spades turns red. Crazy. You take that 5 of spades, you throw it face down on the table. You say, we'll do it again. And then they select another card. In this case, they select the Queen of Hearts. Oh, I should mention the first.
Mm-hmm.
I always do this, Eric.
Yeah.
Step back. Basically, the first card they select is the Ace of Spades. Am I doing this right?
Yeah, and then the second card they select is the Queen of Hearts, because the second
second
time
card-
the card changes, the only card that's the other color is the Ace of Spades, but then at the end of it, that's where you get the 5 print.
I'm lost. No, I think it doesn't matter. Anyway, you use fine print as a kicker ending on Red Hot Mama, and believe me, he did this at Disney World for years and years and years and years, and he can attest to like tourists taking photographs with the card and everything like that. And the great thing about this fine print project is, like, because you have so many gimmicks, you could afford to give one away here and there. I mean, you get the majority of them back, but like if somebody really wanted to keep it, you could give it to them.
It's they're really, really awesome cards. It's also like, it's nice having cards with that printed on it, so you don't have to use like weird transfers or like try and print it yourself, running it through a printer. It's just a nice way to do it. Normally these are $20, but if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive at checkout, you get it for 15. So let's say you want to give a couple of fine print cards away, now would be a good time to pick them up.
The original routine, I should just mention, just so you guys have some understanding, because I was kind of jumbly there. But the original routine that Jay put out, because Jay's came with one card, the original fine print. It was just the it was the Ace of Spades, and it said, I know you would choose the Queen of Hearts. And he would put that on, let's just say you put the fine print card on top of the deck, and then you'd put the Queen of Hearts on the bottom of the deck. And that was just kind of his thinking, where it's like, before he starts any card trick, he would ask somebody to think of a card. And as you know, in most cases, people just name the Ace of Spades, right? But then you also have the Queen of Hearts, right? So I know Juan Tamariz talks about this as well, about leaving the common cards on top of the bottom of the deck. But because it's got the extra thing on the bottom, you're covered for an extra card as well. So you can have like somebody name the Queen of Hearts, somebody names the Queen of Hearts, you say turn over the top card, and they think you're wrong because it's the Ace of Spades. And they say, no, you can always read the fine print on the card, and it says, I know you chose the Queen of Hearts. So it's just kind of like an out, right?
Yeah, I mean, fine print's been like shown up on so many different things after Jay came out with it, and it's really a phenomenal piece. It's one of those things you should just be able to do it. You should just be able to do it.
There's no reason to not replace the Ace of Spades with one of these in your deck.
Yeah, super good. All right, Nick, what's your number 1 this week?
My number 1 this week, this trick's really good. My number 1 this week is Totally Hands Off by Danny Day Ortiz. This is a carded number that is it's just impossible because it's Danny Ortiz. We've talked about this a couple times recently. I feel like over the past couple months.
We even played a performance of this once. It's it really messes with people. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Well, actually, we probably should have loaded that up and played it at the end of the show or something.
Next time it comes up.
Yeah. So this is you hand the deck out to be shuffled by 4 different spectators. They mix it up however they want. Deck comes back together. Oh, but during that mixing sequence, somebody selects a card, or they choose a card from their pile. It's not just like it is placed back into the center of packets and shuffled, and it's out of Danny's hands, hence the name Totally Hands Off, right?
Yeah.
Then the cards go back on the table, and somebody names a number. Wouldn't you know it, that card is at that number, impossibly. And the secret behind this is just, it's a mixture. Look, we talk about this Danny Ortiz thing a lot, where it feels like once you get into Danny Ortiz material, you feel like you can't do it unless you're Danny, not because it's like sleight of hand hard, just because it's like, you got to be Danny Ortiz to do it. This is not that.
No.
This has a concrete method, which, man, it's really, really smart.
Yeah, this is one of the effects that I think that if people get discouraged by Danny Ortiz material, this is one they should get, because the method is solid, it is concrete, and you can start to learn to play in the sort of world that he does while knowing that you're going to be able to hit that. Not that you have to like bluff your way through something or be amazing at sleight of hand. I mean, this is a very, very good trick that is solidly constructed, and you'll be able to do it, which is really nice. And feeling like you can do a Danny Ortiz trick is, man, it's like it boosts your spirits every time you do it.
It's impossible. And it does. So there is, it does come with a gimmick, or gimmicks, I should say. There's an option for this, right? Where you can get the download or the download with gimmicks.
I believe that to be the case.
Which is funny because they don't actually say what the gimmicks are. I can say this for it. If you're somebody that does a lot of Magic and you got cards all over the place, like me, or Erik, you don't need the gimmicks for this. No. So don't feel like you need to get them. If not, if you are just looking to, maybe you're just getting started, I would consider getting the gimmicks with it. It's not, they're not anything that you can't acquire on your own.
Yeah, you probably have them. You probably are sitting on a few of those gimmicks right now.
But here's the thing: you don't even need it to do the trick, because he goes into explaining how to do it without the gimmicks as well. It's arguably not as easy, but or clean, I guess. But
one of the things I like about Danny is that he creates effects that do use gimmicks and gimmicks like this, but he also comes up with other methods that are just as workable. It's going to be different in how you get there, and maybe one's a little more difficult than the other. But man, it's
that's like honestly, that might have been worked backwards through us. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Because Danny, I'm sure, probably didn't use gimmicks for this trick when he was first putting it together. Because he's Danny Ortiz, and why would he, right?
90 Day Fiance over here in the YouTube chat saying something that is very true. Danny is like a real-life Nintendo character. I think that's one of the best ways to describe him. This also, again, normally this is $20, but if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive at checkout, you're going to get it for $15. And that is, we're referring here to the download version without props. So just go ahead, get that one. You'll be good to go.
Yeah, great trick, and you'll fool everybody with this one. Yeah. This one is, you get some time out of it too. Probably take you, 3 minutes, 4 minutes to do it.
Super good. Nick, we got a couple questions in the chat before we take a look at the schedule and recap everything we talked about this week. The first thing was John Hayes asked a really important question. How do you handle hecklers?
I don't get hecklers.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I don't really either, but. When you used to get hecklers,
I never really. So I'm not the right one to ask, mainly because my philosophy on it is, one, I just don't share Magic with people that don't want to see it, right? So maybe I've always been a good judge of character on that sense, but I do think there is some truth in your own personal character will bring out the heckler that is within possibly every group of people, right? If you're inviting it, you'll get it. right? And if you're not really inviting it, you won't. I to date, and I've done a lot of shows. I really can't recall too many heckling moments. In fact, most times when people kind of give me crap on stage, it's always turned into a good moment as opposed to a bad one, and that just might be the way that I come across.
I think that that's probably some of the best advice is trying to turn it into a good moment, because I think a lot of people interpret someone as like talking to you or saying something as them being a heckler, but most of the time they just want to be a part of the experience.
Yeah.
Most of the problems that I've ever had with people are usually when someone like just doesn't want to watch magic. When I'm at a gig where I'm hired to do walk around and do magic with people, and usually I just put the cards away and have a normal conversation with them. If someone wants to be aggressive or try and figure out how it is, I just put the cards away and don't show them magic, because if they don't want to experience magic, that's fine with me. They don't have to. This is the way I do my art, and I'm not going to force my art on anyone.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if it's in that moment, if you can tell that it's taking away from the experience from the other people around, yeah, cut it short. But if not, for some reason, if they're being funny and they're getting laughs and maybe they do say something funny, write it down. We might be the worst people to ask about hecklers. I'm trying to think of some Penguin Lives would really dive into it, because like. Who are some performers that like Gazzo's one?
Yeah,
that like invites the comments, right?
Yeah, but the difference is with Gazzo is that like he is inviting those comments because he has a million lines to put that person down, and so but then again he's making it into a game with them, because with Gazzo a lot of people want to be insulted by him, so like he has that kind of a thing.
I'd even say Carissa Hendricks, her act is very open format with the audience. She's not like looking for hecklers. However, I'm sure she gets it quite a bit because of the content that she's talking about. But she also wants it, right? She wants those improv moments with the audience. So those would be two that I would look at if you're trying to get some more information on it.
John, just saying, sorry for the questions. He's a newbie. No, John, this is how you learn. Ask us questions. This is what we're here for. I got two other questions, and then we got to go. One of them I think is just sort of fun. What's your favorite color change, Nick?
Oh man, I'm not at the angle to be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm not at the angle for my favorite one either. But
I mean, my favorite one is just the
Mark D'Souza's twirl change?
Mark D'Souza. No, it's not.
Oh, the shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter.
Yeah.
The shapeshifter. I saw Blaine do it on TV ages ago, and that was, what did I just change? A club into a club.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love the shapeshifter.
Yeah.
The one that I like to practice a lot, and I don't know the name of it, so if you guys do, let me know. I guess I can't tell you what it is without exposing it. But anyway, like a steal from the bottom that gets pivoted into my hand, and then you're like that.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like a Bertram change, but on top of a deck.
I like that one.
Yeah.
But I don't ever use it. I use the shapeshifter all the time. That's my go-to color change.
There's the two that I really like, and one, I think he teaches it on his Penguin Live lecture, is the Cloud Change by Robbie Moreland. That is.
Oh yeah, how do we not name that?
Yeah,
yes, of course.
arguably one of my favorite changes. And then the other one I really like that I've been working on for a long time is Tony Chang's change.
Yeah.
I've been playing with that because I wanted to use it for the end of my ambitious card routine, because it looks really good, but it is very angle sensitive and it's really designed for one person. But it's a beautiful change when it works.
We pitch the Cloud Change here, because if you are looking for a good color change,
the Cloud Change is amazing.
Well, Robbie put out a project on this, and I don't know, it might only be available elsewhere. I don't know if we have it on Penguin, but I believe it's just called the Cloud Change Project by Robert Moreland. I don't think he goes by Robbie. I think it's Robert Moreland.
Yeah. That's
probably the most versatile color change that you could learn, and by somebody that like has studied in depth. So if you want a good one, man, go find that Cloud, because that one flew under the radar.
Yeah. I want to say that, because I first heard about it on the Second Deal, this like old forum that you had to like pay to be a part of, like 10, 15 years ago.
Robbie's always too close to not too close. I really respect what Robbie does.
Oh yeah.
But like he keeps his stuff tight, right?
Yep.
So the Cloud Change was kind of like a mythical thing, but he did release it on a project.
Yeah.
And it was because they filmed it at Magi Fest like a couple of years ago.
Oh,
Remember
that's
when
right.
Robbie was there?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
He was filming that then, and I know
Okay.
it came out, and I think it's just called The Cloud Change
Yeah.
Project by
But
Robert Moreland. So take a look for that. I'm sure he covers it in his Penguin Live lecture as well.
Yeah, I think he covers it in his Penguin Live lecture because he talked about it a little bit. But it's super good.
Yeah, go support Robbie. He also puts some great stuff up on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. So if you get a chance, search for Robert Moreland on YouTube, and you can see some of that.
I'm loving the fact that the YouTube chat is just is going through just talking about their favorite color changes and everything right now. 90 Day Fiance wants Nick to do the Twitch change. I'm not quite sure what that is.
Oh, the Twitch. Oh, so now we're getting like, okay, I wonder.
Can
I'm
you-
getting more hints now on who 90 Day Fiance might actually be, Eric.
Ooh.
Because the Twitch change, there's only a few people that know about the Twitch change. Honestly, I can't do it. Okay,
Yeah.
this was I think this came out on like Illusionist or something like 3 years ago. But it starts here, so you have like.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Remember this one? I can't do it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I've not tried this in like so long. And then you're there.
Yeah.
It didn't actually look that bad.
Yeah. No. I do remember that. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. No, I was working on it for Michael Amar's what's the name of that trick where you tear a corner off the card and then you restore it backwards?
Oh
Do you
man.
remember that trick? So cool.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but it was like the perfect position for that restoration if you wanted to do like a visual restoration for that one particular Michael Amar trick. Anyway,
Yeah.
Twitch change. No. It's knacky. I don't know. I don't know anybody that does it.
It's yeah, man. There's don't you love a knacky change though? There was there's a bunch of fun changes out there, but the
I never shy away from spending a couple bucks on a fun trick to practice.
Oh yeah,
Fun
absolutely.
change.
Like, did you ever work on the clip shift?
No, you know what? No, I have not.
I worked on the clip shift for years and could never pull it off. As a matter of fact, Chad used to come into the bar I worked at and would like do the clip shift and like show it to me, and my fingers would just never do that.
I should work on that one.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a new good one. I've
work-
kind of gotten done with the bottom deal. I did a lot of bottom deals this winter.
Oh man. Okay. One more question, and then we'll move on to the last thing that is we got to talk to. Enrique Preciado on YouTube saying, "What's something y'all practice but never use?"
Oh man, like all the time I'm doing
Yeah.
stuff that I never use.
Oh, man. John Green says Albo card by Michael Lamar. Albo card.
Elbow card.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Yeah. Josh Birch in the Facebook chat bragging that he can do the clip shift. I don't think it's true, Josh. Just saying that out loud right now. But yeah, Nick, what's something you practice but don't use?
So like I practice Pharaoh stuff all the time,
Yeah.
right? Like table Pharaohs on my close-up mat.
Mm-hmm.
I would never do them. A lot of like false shuffles and things
Yeah.
that I never use live. And it is funny because I think it'll happen one day. And this is a good example is the now I'm spacing on the name of this double lift from here where you run your thumb.
That's the Stuart Gordon turnover.
The Stuart Gordon turnover.
Yeah.
I probably practiced that for 5 years.
Yeah.
Never used it in live performance. I was just doing my regular old double lift. But through actually doing it for 5 years now, I do pretty much use it as my double lift. And it actually took that long for me to get comfortable with it,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me.
It's a weird turnover because it's so out of your control, and yet you have to have a lot of finesse to pull it off right. I understand why you'd sit on it for so long.
Yeah, it took so long, and now I'm just like, it's automatic. I don't have to even think about it. I got to a level where I'm like, oh well, I should use it. Why don't I use this? So I'm kind of hoping that it'll be the same thing with like my table Pharaoh.
Yeah. I guess for me, there's I practice the truffle shuffle a lot, but I never use it. But that is a more recent thing. Probably the thing I practice the most but never use is raise rise.
Yeah, that's the definition of one, right?
Yeah, like I've been practicing raise rise for like 2 or 3 years now, and I don't use it for anything. I'm not good at it. It's just pulling that card out and pushing it through is one of my fidget moves, I think. The other one that I do a lot is DPS. I do a diagonal palm shift a lot, but I don't think I've ever used it for anything. One time I used it as a peak, and that's, yeah, but no.
I mean, I don't know if everybody out there is like me right now, where it's like, obviously I haven't really been doing any close-up magic for people, you know? And over the last year, I've just kind of been collecting tricks that I want to do.
Yeah.
And when close-up season finally comes, I'll get some reps on them. And all of these tricks, I'm really kind of like excited and nervous about, because they're just things I'm not accustomed to. Yeah. Honestly, I don't even remember a lot of the card tricks I used to do, Eric.
I remember I was working on an oil and like a 6-card oil and water last year that I was having a lot of fun with, but I never, then lockdown happened and I'm not doing it for anyone. But maybe I'll break that back out.
Like I picked up Seidman's Oracle system.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I'm like, let's have this ready when the time is right. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Same with, everybody knows if they watch this show, I picked up Split Focus. I'm hoping to make that a thing. I've got the Brent Braun FPS coin wallet, so I can do some cool productions out of that. But like, I've been working on a 3-fly routine, and so they're all kind of things that I don't do currently, but I hope to very soon.
Last question from the chat is got to be 90 Day wanted to know about, or maybe it was Hungry. It was either 90 or Hungry. I'm not quite sure. Want to know about the partner program, how they can get involved in that, and how you can release magic through Penguin Magic. Yeah. So head to penguinmagic.com, and then on the right side, underneath the bestsellers, underneath the cool box, you'll see a little button that says, want to hatch a magic trick or something. It's just like a little yellow button. That'll send you to a page that has tons of information on the partner program. And it's really easy to get signed up. You just, because you have to be able to film a trick. Like you need a camera and you need, an internet connection, which obviously we all do. But you just get your idea on camera, and you can send it over. It will be watched. We watch this stuff all the time. Yeah. It goes through Sean Dunn, and then it kind of comes down to the rest of us. Sean's great to work with, and you go from there. If it's a good trick, it might end up on like the P3 team's lap, or you can just start your own store and start releasing magic like that. All the information you want is on that page. So if you just head on over there, that little button, you'll be good. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Well, let's take a quick look at the schedule, Nick. We talked about quite a few things. We talked, first of all, the deals of the week were Pocket Nightmare by Max Maven and Sudden Deck 3.0 by David Regal. Then we got into my top picks, the Stealth Pen, which is a great, fantastic, easy-to-use pen through bill, but you get 2 of them for the price of 1. Then UPS by Roddy McGee, probably the most Roddy way to get a peek out of a stack of business cards. And of course, my top pick of the week was Card Stunts by Gregory Wilson, a phenomenal set of card magic that is it's just full of knockout powerhouse effects.
I like using Roddy as an adjective.
I do too.
That's it's very Roddy.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna make that a thing. By the way, if you're watching this right now, go out on Facebook and go out on YouTube, and when you see something that's just awesome, just say that's a very Roddy thing. That's what you should do.
Roddy.
Yeah, it's so Roddy. Nick's top picks of the week: Transfer, one of the most beautiful versions of the 5-in-1 Transpo in the world. Fine Print by Jay Sankey. It took the world by storm, and you need to put it in your deck on your Ace of Spades now. And then, of course, his number 1 pick, Totally Hands Off by Danny DeOrtiz. Knockout card magic from Danny. All of the things that we talked about on the show today are 25% off if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive. At checkout, those are good until Friday at midnight. Yeah. 90 Day Fiance, Pocket Nightmare's amazing. I regret never getting that. 90 Day, you don't have to regret it anymore. Pick it up.
Pick it up. Keep an eye out on, if you don't subscribe to Penguin on Instagram or Facebook, go ahead and do that. There'll probably be a couple more deals floating around in the stories this week. For some lectures and maybe even a product as well. We'll see. We'll see what we're going to put up in there.
And if you listen to the Penguin Magic podcast every week, Nick and I talk about a featured download with a very special download code, so you can get that for 25% off, in addition to listening to me interview your favorite magicians. On behalf of everyone else here at Penguin Magic, it's been a lot of fun seeing you tonight. We'll be back next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, we'll see you next time.